The supervisor said, just do what you're told, so I did exactly what I was told and nothing more. I'd been working at the manufacturing plant for 6 years when Lawrence destroyed me during the safety committee meeting in front of the entire shift. We were discussing equipment downtime, and I'd prepared a presentation showing how adjusting our maintenance schedule could prevent the breakdowns costing us hundreds of thousands annually. Lawrence cut me off before I reached slide 3 with that tone supervisors use when they want everyone to remember who's in charge. Nobody asked for your opinion, Wyatt. Your job is to run the machines, not tell us how to run the facility. He looked around the room to make sure his message landed. Just do what you're told and let management handle the thinking. You're a machine operator, not an engineer. Stop trying to be something you're not. I closed my laptop while feeling 6 years of catching problems before they became disasters get dismissed as overstepping. Understood. Just following orders from now on. He smiled with satisfaction. Finally, someone who gets how this works. The very next morning, my press started making the grinding noise that always preceded a breakdown. The old me would have immediately shut it down and prevented 3 days of repairs. The new me checked my job duties, saw nothing about preventive shutdowns, and kept running the machine exactly as scheduled. It catastrophically failed 4 hours later, destroying 2 components and requiring a specialist from Germany. When Lawrence asked why I didn't stop it, I looked at him without expression. My job is to run the machines, not make decisions about shutdowns. That's management thinking. That afternoon, I noticed hydraulic fluid pooling under press 7, our $1 million equipment. The old me would have tagged it out immediately. The new me walked past it because identifying potential hazards wasn't in my job description. Press 7's hydraulic system failed the next morning, flooding the production floor and shutting down the entire line for 8 days. By week 2, equipment that used to run smoothly was breaking down constantly. Production numbers were dropping. Safety incidents were increasing. Friday morning, a forklift operator asked if the overhead crane looked misaligned. The cable seemed off. The old me would have stopped all operations under that crane immediately. The new me shrugged and said, I just operate my press, not qualified to assess crane safety. That crane dropped a 2-ton steel roll 3 hours later, missing a worker by 6 feet and causing OSHA to shut us down for investigation. When Lawrence demanded to know why nobody had reported the obvious misalignment, I calmly explained that noticing and reporting safety issues outside my immediate workstation required observational initiative and independent judgment. He'd made it clear I should just do what I'm told, and nobody had told me to inspect cranes. His face went purple while the plant manager listened to every word. The emergency meeting that Monday was what I'd been waiting for. The plant manager wanted answers for why we'd had more equipment failures, safety incidents, and production delays in 2 weeks than in the previous entire year. Lawrence tried to blame maintenance, training, bad luck, but the safety coordinator interrupted with a question directed at me. Wyatt, you've been here 6 years and caught dozens of problems before they became incidents. What changed? I looked directly at Lawrence before answering. 2 weeks ago, I was told to stop thinking beyond my job description. Just do what I'm told and let management handle everything else. So that's exactly what I've been doing. Following my task list precisely, operating my machines as scheduled, and not using any independent judgment about maintenance needs, safety concerns, or operational improvements. The plant manager's expression darkened. Lawrence told you to stop using your experience to prevent problems? Lawrence tried to backtrack, but I pulled up the recording from that safety meeting where he'd explicitly said to just do what I'm told and stop trying to be something I'm not. The plant manager asked me directly what it would take to go back to my previous approach. I want it formalized that identifying problems and taking initiative on safety issues is actually part of my job, along with compensation that reflects that responsibility. Lead operations specialist, 22,000 raise, and authority to stop any operation I identify as unsafe without supervisor approval. The plant manager approved it immediately, then turned to Lawrence with barely controlled fury. You're being transferred to a non-supervisory position in shipping where your inability to recognize valuable employees can't cost us millions. They walked him out that afternoon while I went back to doing what I'd always done, except now my job description actually matched what the plant needed, and nobody could tell me that preventing disasters was above my pay grade.